Hello, this is the Creep Cafe, and the name of this story is Stranded. It's the year of our Lord, 1718, and pirate captain Mark Tuckman has just failed in robbing a Spanish cargo ship. All of his men have been killed, while he was deemed unfit for Spanish steel and thrown overboard, still alive. He kicks and treads water for hours, even managing to deter a shark. But he's exhausted and starts drowning. Coughing up water back into the ocean as he sinks, he's losing consciousness when some force lifts him out of the sea and drops him in a shipping yard, where a dock worker nearby pulls him out and tells a coworker to find help. Dehydrated, Mark begs for water, and the man hands him a plastic bottle. And clearly delirious, he chugs it all. Then his eyes settle on the modern dressed man helping him, and the engine-powered boats in the harbor. Captain Mark Tuckman is stranded more than 300 years from his time and has no idea how. Desperate, he explains the situation to his rescuers, who believe he's out of his mind. Police are called to restrain him and take Mark to a psychiatric ward. To coax him out of his time travel delusions, doctors ask him questions about his life as a pirate captain. He answers them in explicit detail, pleading with them to believe him, which they do not. So to figure out who he really is, his fingerprints are submitted to the police. Checking their database, his prints and photo match someone they have on record for armed robbery, who went missing 2 years ago after escaping a police boat headed to an island prison complex. When the Coast Guard failed to find him, they declared him dead and figured his body would wash up on shore. Mark has no idea what they're talking about. And that night, in his holding cell, he's abducted from his bed by gray aliens with black eyes. Naked and frozen in their ship, he hears them in his mind, arguing about saving him from drowning, how they made a mistake of mercy. Their ships bend space-time to move around, and human biology can have strange reactions to their technology. They're here to take Mark back home. But suddenly both aliens are alarmed. Another one of their ships targets them over the water. Their superiors find them guilty of experimenting with human life. A light beam hits and destroys their ship. The explosion of energy creates a tear in space and time that Mark is absorbed into. He's sent back 2 years and nearly drowns again, swimming to the beach. This time, when he encounters people, he keeps quiet about time travel. He's not going back to that asylum. He lives on the street, feeding from garbage cans. He tries finding work on a ship, but all his sailing knowledge is useless. So he starts violently robbing convenience stores until he's arrested. Mark is sentenced to an island prison off the coast. On the boat ride there, he starts feeling something in his stomach and sees a burning bright light out in the water. They're getting closer to where the alien's ship exploded. And because only he's been affected by it, only he can see the wormhole they're headed straight into. He begs the guards to turn the boat around right now, and they tell him to shut up. While they keep talking, the ship passes through the tear in space-time, and Mark disappears from custody. He's absorbed into the portal again and finds himself stranded in the ocean alone, with no beach or boat in sight. It'll be a long time before either of those things exist. Something huge swims under the waves, raising the tide, and a primordial crocodile swallows Mark whole.